Hey you guys, welcome to your 13th week at Flash Course. This is the beginning of your 4th month of education. Congratulations, you've come so far. I'm really proud of you. So this week we will talk about a lost civilization. The topic of this week is the lost society. I'm sure you know a lot about ancient Egypt, or Incas, or maybe some of the Khmer societies. Probably you've learned about them during your history lessons. So in this video, we are going to cover a lot of vocabulary that you will need throughout this week to talk about those ancient civilizations. For example, the first word is existence. Usually, when the society is lost, it is wiped out of existence. Existence is the fact of something or someone being real or being true. Another interesting word is empire. An empire is a group of countries that is ruled by a single person, a government, or sometimes a parliament, but mostly by a single person who is called the emperor or the empress. And an empire is usually passed by blood. So the son of the emperor will become the next emperor. I'm sure you've heard the terms such as Roman Empire or Ottoman Empire. Ottoman Empire now is considered to be Turkey. Roman Empire now is on the territory of Europe, and mostly Rome is in Italy. One of the main features of an empire is a strong army. Army, in other words, is called arms. Arms are people, weapons, and explosives that are used in wars in order to win. But generally, wars are really brutal. When something is brutal, it is cruel, violent, and without any feelings. For example, the Roman Empire has conquered other countries brutally. So it means that they declared war and then they won. They conquered the countries with a lot of cruelty, violence, and without any warm feelings. And inside of an empire, people usually lose their ethnic identity if the empire exists for a long time. Ethnic means related to a certain race or a certain nationality or a certain ethnicity. It happens because in the empire, people and nationalities and races assimilate. To assimilate means to become a part of a group, a country, or a culture. So for example, if you migrate to a foreign country, you want to assimilate because you want to become a part of your new homeland. Another way to say start or begin is to set about. This phrasal verb means the same as begin. So the beginning of the collapse of a society, civilization, or an empire usually lies within people trying to tear down different sites, memorials, or temples. To collapse or a collapse means to be not able or inability to stay or function longer. To tear down something means to destroy it. To destroy a temple, for example. A temple is a sacred building that is used by people to worship a certain god or gods following a certain religion. A site is a place where something is or will be built or happening. For example, you can go to a site where war actions happened and you can take a look at that place. Or a site can be a place where there is a building. A memorial is an object, usually quite large, that is built and made in order to honor a famous person or a special event. Sometimes people don't just destroy things, but they commit looting and plundering. Looting and plundering are the terms that are used for the act of stealing different articles, objects, goods during the time of war or some type of disorder. Looting and plundering is illegal because you take things that do not belong to you while everyone else is panicking. For example, this phenomenon can happen when there is a disaster going on in the city. It can be an explosion of a factory. A disaster is an event that usually results in great damage, harm, or destruction, or even death. And during that disastrous event, people go and try to steal things from shops or from other people's houses. But this type of activity has a short existence span. Span is the amount of time during which something exists or continues to happen. For example, people usually talk about the attention span. So my attention span is 10 seconds. It means that I can keep myself focused only for 10 seconds. Then my attention is drawn away. Since we are talking about lost societies, even nowadays, we have people who are descendant from those civilizations. To be descendant from means to be related to a particular person or a group of people in the past. For example, I am a descendant of my grandparents and great-great-great-great-grandparents. And maybe some of my ancestors are people who were born before me, were craftsmen. A craftsman is a person who is skilled in doing or making something. But this information is fictional because I don't know for sure, so this information is imaginary. Fictional is imaginary. I just imagine that maybe some of my ancestors were craftsmen. Maybe they weren't. And it gets me intrigued to know more about my ancestors and to know more about the lost civilizations. When you are intrigued, you are very interested in a certain topic, but you lack the information and you want to know more about it. And 2 more interesting words that you will need during this week. The first word is pressure. Pressure is generally when you press something, the strength that you apply, the force that you apply. Another meaning of the word pressure is a difficult situation that makes you feel unhappy or worried. And the word eruption. Some civilizations were destroyed by volcano eruptions. So an act or occasion when a volcano comes up and explodes, that's called eruption. So I hope all of these words will help you during your studies and during your journey into English language. And I hope that you liked this video. Thank you for watching it. Enjoy the rest of your week.